Hi, I'm Joe Puckett. Thanks for joining me. Unfortunately, we have some sad breaking news here about a church invasion that led to a stabbing of a priest that led to his death in a small community in Nebraska. Let's get right to talking about what happened. 5 a.m. this morning, Father Gutzel calls 911 to report an invasion. And at about 5:06, very quickly, the police arrive, especially for a small community. They arrive very quickly and they find Father Gutzel suffering from stab wounds. And also in the same building, they find Kier Williams, who's 43 years of age. He's in the building and instantly becomes a suspect, of course. Father Gutzel is transported to the hospital in Omaha, as I understand it, where he is pronounced deceased. So just a heartbreaking situation, small community, and man, a tough to hear about. But we know things are getting worse. Crime's getting worse, and certainly churches are more of a target if we're listening to FBI warnings, those kind of things. The attack and invasion occurred in a rectory of the church. So right next door, you can see it there in the photo, right to the left of the church. The suspect is from Sioux City, Iowa. He's lodged at the Washington County Jail there in Nebraska. The church is St. John the Baptist Catholic Church. It's in Fort Calhoun, Nebraska. Basically, and I'm still trying to piece together the facts as I'm reading different reports of this, but basically, as I understand it, I haven't heard why the suspect is in that area, if he's moved there or if he's just visiting, but his residence is basically an hour and 20 minutes from the church area. So I'm not sure what he's doing in that area, and I'm hoping that we'll get those answers. But Fort Calhoun, just for those of you doing comparisons, this is important for me to point out to you because I think sometimes we think because we're not a big church or we're not in a big town that these kind of things can't happen to us at church, but in fact they do. They happen to small churches. And so, we talk about Fort Calhoun is a population of just a little over 1,100 people. And so a small community, small church, and yet we have this violence that occurs. And I want to be asking you, I always, that's what this channel is all about, is to get you thinking about stuff, not just to report the breaking news, but also to get you thinking about stuff. And there's some important questions to ask, whether you're a member of a church or your security or your team leader of a church. We need to be paying attention to the warning signs. The FBI has given us warnings last month and then last week. They upgraded those warnings. So are you paying attention to those? And I don't want to use this in a negative way. I want to get us thinking, violence is on the rise. And I'm sure these church officials would want us talking about this stuff because we want people to be saved. We want people to not be stabbed and shot, and violence is definitely on the rise. And so, I want to encourage you, we need this defensive stance. We need to be not quite so open doorish where we're just opening the doors for people. And I don't have all the information. Apparently, the initial report that came in was that somebody was trying to break into the building. So I don't know if that was some sort of forceful break in. It kind of sounds like it. So what are we doing? What can we learn from this as the initial facts are coming in? And, I definitely encourage you to really be seriously talking about this as a scenario with your security team, your church leaders. What can we do to tighten things up a bit for our church security, whether it's open door policies, being friendly first over also being secure and cautious. I mean, this is at a church, but it's off hours. It's before the service. They had to cancel the service, but this morning, Sunday morning. But, what else can we do? Do we need to add some cameras, add locks, tighten up our security, or minimize our open door policies, if you will, to where we're not quite such a soft target as we're constantly saying. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll use this to challenge your team or challenge yourself whatever aspect you have within the church, whether it's an attendee or some sort of leadership position. I also want to encourage you to like and subscribe to this channel here so that we can connect with you and exchange information and try to help you to be safer in your ministry and in your community. And take a look at this next video coming up. And we encourage you to watch this as the next video in your journey in church security.